Hello, Rise Builders. Hope your day is going well. The topic today is around God's protection. Psalms 34:20. Psalms 34:20. Um, he keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. But I want you guys to read the entire Psalms 34. It just came to me this morning around 2 o'clock. I just couldn't rest and I just kept hearing, He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. I'm like, what is that? What does that really mean? What does that truly mean? Because I started thinking, I broke my ankle like 2 years ago. So I've had a broken bone. I waited until I was like 50. I was 58 then. I'm 59 now. But I was like, I've had a broken bone. But that's just not in the physical sense. That is in your spiritual sense, your mental sense, that God will protect. He will protect. And he will also protect in your physical. Even though I broke my bone was mended back together, But, there's a lot of chaos going on. And sometimes we feel shattered. We feel broken. And this verse just came to me, and I know one of the reasons is that the fact that my mom made me and my two nephews learn this passage when we were really, really young. I had to be about 8 years old in the third grade, and my nephew, one is a year younger than me, and the other one is 2 years younger than me. So yeah, we would have to come home and we would read this passage to her over and over again. And I didn't quite understand it. I talked about this some time ago in another one of my videos. And I was like, why did she pick this Psalms? Why did she pick this Psalms for us to learn? And now, like I said, at the age of 59, I need this. I need this because this just lets me know that God is with me. He is protecting me. He is covering me. Not just me, you as well. You as well. So this is a form of protection and a confirmation and revelation of how God will protect us and care for us, even when we're walking through darkness, even when we are having troubles, even when we might feel violated or we feel taken advantage of. We have a holy God who is there to protect us in and out all day long. So of course, I got some talking points, because if I don't, I'm going to babble all this entire time. Okay. So divine protection in detail. God doesn't just cover the big stuff. He covers all of your bones, your pinkies, your baby toes, the big, not just the big stuff in your life, the small stuff. And that's another thing with us. We always go to God with the big things. What about the small things? What about the small things? The small things matters to God as well. The small things in our lives, because sometimes those small things can blow up to be big things if we're not careful. If we don't pay them some attention, they can explode. So we need to learn how to take everything to God in prayer. Symbolizes of wholeness. The bones, the broken bones, or keeping those bones whole symbolizes wholeness. Bones symbolize structure and inner support. God protects our core even when life tries to break us down. Yeah, so we have this God who is looking out for us 24/7, 7 days a week. He is always there for us. And a lot of times, you can just sit back and reflect of how God has kept his hands of protection on you. Sometimes I think about the fact of when I used to drive into work and people would just drive crazy, and I avoided so many car accidents because God covered me. It was one morning early. You couldn't have told me I wasn't going to get hit by this car and it was going to be all over. But that car missed me and I made it to work okay. It shook me up a little, and I was like, my Lord, I escaped death this day. I mean, y'all, it could have been really bad. And I know some of you guys can relate to what I'm saying. That's why it's so important when we get in our cars. God, I just ask that you put a hedge of protection around this vehicle as I drive it, the front, the back, the sides. Cover me, cover other, the other passengers that might be riding with me, or the other cars that's on the interstate. Protect them. Let everyone stay focused. You're not just driving for yourself. You're driving for all those who are surrounding you, And I'm going to tell you another thing. If I see an ambulance, I immediately start praying. Father God, I just pray for protection over this person, that they are okay. If they have to get to the hospital, let the doctors be able to attend to them immediately. Let restoration and healing flow. Y'all, we got to be praying. We got to be praying, and we got to be consistent with that thing. We got to be consistent. It's just not about us. It is just not about us. So yeah, meditate on God's promises. Read and reflect the entire Psalms 34. That's the challenge for you guys. Notice how often the word deliver shows up. Yeah, he delivers us. He delivers me. Yeah, it's just good. I'm looking at verse 17. The righteous cry out and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all of their trouble. Not some of their trouble, all of their trouble. The righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from all. Delivers them from all. He protects all his bones. Not one of them is broken. Not one. And you know what? And I was thinking to myself, well, 2 years ago, I broke my ankle, so that bone was broken. But guess what? That bone was mended. It mended and it came right back together. And again, it's not just in the physical realm. We're talking in the spiritual. We're talking about in the mental, so there's protection all around. Physical as well, but there is protection all around. Speak wholeness over your life. So many times we utilize our words in the wrong way. Words matter. Sometimes, we can use little jargons, little words, and you start thinking about it. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, because now I'm talking, I'm not talking life. I need to be speaking life. Declare, I may be pressed, but I'm not broken. I may be pressed, but I'm not broken. God is preserving me. God is preserving you. God is my redeemer. We got to be speaking life. Also, encourage someone else who might be feeling broken. You might have a coworker who might not be feeling their best, who might be going through something. It's not always about you. Sometimes we got to learn how to take our eyes off our us and what we're going through. Not saying that what we're going through isn't hurtful, we're not feeling some type of way, but a lot of times when you start taking your eyes off of you and you start praying for somebody else, that burden just lightens. That burden, it does. It just starts light. It starts getting light. It's not as heavy. So, question: what areas of your life feel fractured or under attack right now? Are you feeling under attack? What areas are you feeling under attack? Are you feeling attacked in your finances? Are you feeling attacked in your body? Are you feeling attacked in your relationship with your kids? What is it? Are you feeling attacked against yourself? Because we can be our worst critics. I know I can be very hard on myself. Oh, you could have did better than that. You could have said this. You could have written this better. You could have done. You know what I mean. You know how we can be with ourselves. Have you overlooked the fact that God's protection often includes the parts you cannot see? Have you overlooked the fact that God's protection often includes the parts you cannot see? Something to think about, right? Something to think about. A lot of times we only think about things that we can visually see with our physical eyes. But what else is God protecting that we can't see? What is going on in this body that we can't see? What is happening underneath the layers of our skin that we can't see? I had not spoken with a good friend of mine. We've been friends since the 10th grade. And I received a phone call. I actually thought about her. About 3 weeks ago, I was at a Juneteenth pageant with my great niece. About 4 weeks ago now. And this group that was singing, they were phenomenal. And I was like, gosh, this sounds like this group that my girlfriend used to be with. Well, anyway, I got a phone call at work and during work hours. And the person asked me, had I spoken to this individual? And I was like, no. She was like, give her a call. I was like, okay. So I called and she was like, I got something to tell you. I was like, what? And we joked. I made this joke. What, you done had a baby and you didn't tell me? Because we're both the same age, and we chuckled or whatever. And she was like, "Girl, no, I've been through a health crisis." And she went on to talk about the fact that that she was having some breathing issues anytime she tried to elevate to go up the stairs or whatever. And when they checked her, they immediately told her she needed to go to the hospital because they saw a mass and she was at stage 4. But by the time I got off that phone with her, I was just like in awe because they were able to get it all. That particular, because it started in her spine, and she gave me some big words that I can't remember and all that stuff. But yeah, but it just, the stuff we can't even see. And she was talking about the fact that the doctor said they would have never even looked there. They would have never, based off of what she was saying, they wouldn't have, checked here because the cancer actually moved from her spine up top. It didn't actually go into her breast area, but around up in that area. Because I was like, well, is it breast cancer? And she was like, no, it's not breast cancer. She gave me another word for it. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, well, had you been getting your exams? And she was like, no, I had not. But she said, even had I been getting my exams, the doctor said that they would not have been able to see it. So we don't know what is happening on the back end and how God will work things out. And when she got there, she said they had to drain liters and liters of fluid off of her lungs. And she said that's why she was having such a hard time anytime she tried to walk up the stairs, any type of elevation. That's a message in itself right there, okay? But yeah, so God's protection is always with us. It is always with us in things that we don't even think about seeing or knowing or doing or any of those things. I should be done with this video and I'm going to just go ahead and stop right now. But yeah, I want you guys to go read Psalms 34, and I hope that, something really resonates with you in this passage, because you may not feel whole right now. But God is still working. He is working under the skin. He is working all over this body, all over your body, all over your mind. God is so good. He really is. He is so good. And that's just the best I can say about this, guys. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this because I could just keep on talking. All right, guys, until next time, continue to grow and glow in the Lord. Bye.